Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Spiritual Conversations with Doula Mareesha, and I am Doula Mareesha, and I am here for the Mercury in Retrograde in Libra reading. So, tonight, guys, at 11:38 p.m., we are going to officially start the Mercury Retrograde in the sign of Libra. As you may not know, my Mercury and Venus is in Libra. So I know I'm going to definitely feel it. I'm also a Virgo. We're in Virgo season. So I definitely, yes. Definitely going to be feeling it. And from my understanding, with the Mercury retrograde in Libra, we are going to really see the state of a lot of the connections and relationships that we are in. And of course, as you know, the sign of Libra represents, of course it means justice, but then also justice in the connections and relationships that pretty much shape our environment. And with it being in retrograde, that also means that we're going to see the opposite. It means that there are probably certain relationships that you all have been in. You're going to now start seeing the truth of those relationships. The veil may be pulled off. In that, one thing about Libras is that we can be or people with like strong Libra placements, we can be very indecisive for a very long time when it comes to, whether or not we want to deal with certain things, certain people. But I think that with the Mercury retrograde in Libra, our hands are going to be kind of forced a little bit as to the state of certain relationships and how it is that we're supposed to move forward. So I think that if anything, please take, all the lessons that you are going to learn as lessons and apply them, where it's necessary. Even though Mercury retrograde energy can be, or retrograde period energy can be very tiring, is also needed because sometimes we can't always walk around with certain veils over our eyes. Sometimes we need that retrograde energy to shake some things up. And from what I've experienced, there are some people that really need to see what they are dealing with and who that they're dealing with. And so hopefully you all will be able to take those signs and make the necessary changes. So we are going to look into what we need to be expecting for this Mercury retrograde in Libra, and what are some advice that our ancestors have for us moving forward. All right, so we're going to start off with the traditional playing cards. I'm throwing some cartomancy here. And then, if I feel led, I may bring in some tarot. Alright, friends. Okay, so what is the energy that around this Mercury retrograde? I'm going to try to be quick as possible. Long readings are fun, but then sometimes it's just like, I know, you just want to get straight to the point, right? Alright, so what is the energy that we need to look out for? What is it? Funny enough, when I literally said out loud that I was going to do this Mercury retrograde Libra reading, the song that stuck out was, Megan Thee Stallion's Ungrateful, featuring Key Glock. So it looks like some people may start seeing the fact that the people you thought was down for you, people that you may have helped out in the past, people that you gonna see that them folks, they ain't who they claim to be, or they don't love you in the way that you think they love you. Alright, we got the Three of Spades energy. Alright. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright, so We got the 10 of diamonds. All right. We got the 6 of diamonds. We have the 4 of hearts. We have the 3 of clubs. We have the jack of clubs. We have the 4 of clubs, and we also have the 6 of hearts, which with the overall energy is the 3 of spades. Okay, so that's my artist card. That's my unconventional card. That's being able to do multiple jobs at once. So for the people who are tuning in, the energy that I get, that these are folks who you're not conventional with your work. Either that, or you may be some type of content creator, artist, things of that nature. Or you could also be someone who works more than one job, right? So you may have a 9 to 5, but you may have a hustle on the side, or you may have just multiple hustles that help you, make do, and it creates, the stability in your life. So, and with the spades energy, of course, being overall, which is the fire energy. So that means that some of you may have, of course, some fire placements. I'm hearing, of course, Leo and Aries specifically. So if you have like Leo or Aries in this chart, this is something that you should definitely pay attention to as well. So with the 10 of diamonds, I see that for the Mercury retrograde, I see some money coming in for some of you all. If there's like a certain project or something that you have been kind of waiting for, like your ships to come in, I definitely see that is going to start coming in for you during Mercury retrograde season. I'm also hearing that if you are not quite sure of certain financial moves to make, please ask for clarification before you sign on. There is something about making sure that you understand what it is that you're signing, that you understand what it is that is being expected of you. I know that there's kind of like this, like, up and down if you should really sign like contracts and things during Mercury retrograde. But from what it seems here, this is something that you may have already kind of been discussing. It's just in a matter of you understanding that this is how you want to be able to move forward on this. But I definitely see with the 10 of Pentacles, right, that there are some satisfaction with your finances, that there is going to be a lot more money coming for you in order for you to get whatever it is that owes you, or be able to move forward. Because I'm also feeling that this money can also be used to help you move forward on other things too. So definitely the 10 of diamonds energy when it comes to that. And I also see that with the 6 of diamonds. So the 6 of diamonds also represents not only like satisfaction with money, but also the repaying of debt. So settling things. So that means that I can give you your money back, and then I can place this here. So I'm hearing bills paid. There are some people who, if there are certain bills and things that need to be cleared up, that need to be, Mercury retrograde is definitely that time to be able to get that. I give a sense of, like being able to just balance that energy out, balancing that. So whatever money that is coming in, make sure that you're using that to pay your bills. Okay? Make sure you're using that to pay off debt. Okay? We're going to use this retrograde energy to balance. This is where the transmutation, okay? I'm hearing the challenge. This is where the transmuting of energy comes, right? So this is how you're able to use that to kind of give you that bounce back that you want. So if I'm coming in with that, if I'm getting this new money in to ensure that the scales stay balanced, I need to make sure that I'm also using this to settle debts. Make sure that I'm bringing the justice into, okay, I'm getting what's owed to me. So then, therefore, I need to make sure I give these people what's owed to them. This is what keeps that Libra energy intact here. So when that money comes, when that new money comes, so therefore, those who have been unemployed or those who've been working hard and getting these contracts and things, whatever, and you've had a pile up of bills, this is a test too, to see how well you're able to deal with your money, like to make sure that you are prioritizing, that you settle those debts for that, so that once you get out of retrograde energy, you can go back into really receiving that abundance of flow, because you're also proving to the universe that you are truly going to use that abundance of money to take care of yourself, and use that abundance of money to be stable and to pay your rent and pay, things like that. So definitely with this Mercury retrograde energy, you are going to be challenged with making sure that what you are bringing in is really settling things. The next one is the Four of Hearts. Now, whenever I see Four of Hearts, it's a beautiful card. It does represent emotional satisfaction. It represents family, it represents marriage. It represents just being okay with, like, yes, I love this. Like, I feel a bit fulfilled, right? And so with this being in the retrograde, what to look out for? Don't be surprised if somebody tries to come back to talk about these things, to talk about marriage. But then also you being in that space. I guess in beach, because I'm thinking about it. Since my journey as being a doula and a priestess, I've been able to partner with those that have been in committed relationships as well as married. And I would actually have to say that I've been traumatized in certain ways when it comes to working with married people, because a lot of them who come to work or who wants to do work, they're not really trying to leave, right? Even if, and that's fine, of course, right? Like if you want to save your marriage. But the problem is that they're not trying to necessarily do the work either. You're going to find that a lot, are very codependent, narcissistic, manipulative, abusive, violent. And with this card, getting the feeling I'm trusting it must be in reverse. I think that you're going, like, if you're watching it, there is going to be relationships around you, and even you're going to see the reality of the relationships that you were in. Case in point, I had recently just saw the reality of the relationship that a very good friend of mine is in. And I kind of, I knew that the relationship wasn't perfect. However, I didn't realize how easy it was for me to pull me into their BS. Especially when I'm giving sound advice, or trying to come from an area of a concerned friend, it's then taken as, oh, well, I don't need that type of advice. I just need you here to listen to me cry until I don't feel like crying no more. And then when I want this nigga back or whatever it is, then you're just going to be here smiling like everybody else is. And unfortunately, that's going to be the truth for a lot of us. You're going to see that some of these people who claim they don't want to be in an abusive relationship, they don't want to be with a cheater, they want to be with that cheater. They don't want to be with somebody that will manipulate them and do this. But the thing is, they don't want better. They want that person who clearly is not good for them to change. And then they want you to be okay with that. And so, as divine people, who we're taught to see the reality of a certain situation, we're taught, for a lot of us, that's not going to sit well. For many of us, we're not going to be okay with our friends being in domestic violence, in a relationship. A lot of us not going to be okay with realizing that our friends have been with cheaters and our families have been with these people, or that we have dealt with these people. But then it's also going to leave us in a space to, okay, well, if I know that this is not what I want to experience, I cannot co-sign that. If I know that I want to be around people who genuinely love me, and not because I'm willing to kiss their butt, not because I'm willing to pay them for their time because of that, then I need to not be around these type of people. If I truly want people who support me in my business, not only that, but then they'll speak highly of my business, patronize my business, recommend my business, then I know that I can't keep messing with folks who pay my talents and my gifts dirt. Like, we really have to be able to come out of this idea that if we want these type of things, that somehow, some way, we can still deal with those who are not aiming towards that same. It's just not going to work. Other people's energy affect what you do too. So if you're around everybody else that's just cheating, that's just using polyamory as an excuse to cheat and not give that, then guess what you're going to attract? And I had to learn that the hard way. And with people who I really loved. So with the 3 of Clubs, the 3 of Clubs can represent an indecisive. This reverse number, right? It can represent an indecisive energy. Like I told you, Libras can be very indecisive about that. And some of you are going to be really caught up in some of the decisions that you're going to make. It is not going to be easy when you realize some of the relationships that you've been in have been absolutely trash. I mean, there are days that I've cried. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth. I see some people maybe start writing some of these things down. If you aren't writing or journaling or finding some type of outlet to do, I think that in Mercury Retrograde you're going to start, or you're going to need to, because you're going to need somewhere to put a lot of these thoughts that are going to come in. You're going to need something so that you can properly be in that space to reflect and let go. With the Jack of Clubs, same thing. Being in the space of creativity, being in the space of being just open to new beliefs and new ways of thinking. Because with the Jack of Diamonds in reverse, it gives you limited beliefs. So it gives you this idea that, kind of like when you meet your staunch religious person who in no way, shape, or form can't even open themselves to the idea that anything outside of this religion is demonic. That can be the same way of having limited beliefs on love, limited beliefs on friendship. So there's going to be an expansion within the mind, especially going back to that 4 of Hearts and that 3 of Clubs, about you really thinking about what it is that you truly want out of the connections that you have. How can you expand your horizons and meet different people and be in different environments that really serve you? And with And with the Four of Clubs, I'm sorry because I have to try to, cause I want to be able to meet, with the Four of Clubs, so the Four of Clubs is like my peace, or like my anxiety card, kind of like peace from anxiety, or just like mental calmness. Um, Spiritual baths is going to be a really big thing, especially spiritual baths that really aid in like mental clarity. So if you have issues with like anxiety, or if you have issues with trying to make decisions around like how you should move, um, spiritual bath with like lavender, spiritual baths with like rosemary, as well as sage is a really good one. I'm hearing sea salt and lemon only because, of course, it's a purifier and it's a cleanser. But, you know, sometimes you also need to cleanse your mind too. Your mind is clouded and it can just be full of gunk and just different things. So those are really good for like mental clarity. What else? So yes, I definitely said, did I say coconut? I definitely say coconut if you want to bring spirituality, wisdom. You can also olive oil for strength, purification, spirituality. Um, Also hearing ginger is good to also have. So like these are different things that you can definitely do just so we can be able to stay in the space. Because I definitely see, you know, your peace can be rocked, you know, having to get all of coming to all of these, you know, this new information, this new stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you want to make sure that you stay grounded in this. So being able to dedicate your bath time, your quiet times, really working on grounding yourself so that you don't get too lost in the sauce will definitely benefit you during the Mercury retrograde in Libra. And then with the Six of Hearts, which represents peace and karma, but also peace and karma and love. Sometimes it can also represent karmic relationships, especially if it's in the reverse. But here we have an upright. And so I definitely see that, of course, with this being a justice and seeing the synchronicities with the Six of Diamonds and the Six of Hearts. I definitely think that some of y'all just may, you know, be able to find those particular connections. That during this, even though we are wiping out some, by the end of this Mercury retrograde, some of us may actually be able to find some friends. Some of us may be able to find that love, but it is going to come with you being okay with letting go of certain relationships that just are not good. Whether you've known them for 5 years, 15 years, 10 years, when it's time to close out the cycle, it's time to close out a cycle. And I wholeheartedly believe that if we allow these lessons to be learned during Mercury retrograde, that we are going to finally see something move forward. And if you're anything like me, you have been through a lot of Mercury retrogrades, a lot of whatever, clearing out so that you can make it to this particular goalpost. And it is something about this goalpost that I think that is going to just be absolutely marvelous. So I'm gonna have to end it here, folks, because I have to give a couple more readings out, as well as do some things with some of my friends here in Detroit. So I will check with you guys later. Please, you know, brace yourselves. Don't trip out. Just know we just might have to find out some stuff about some people. All right. So talk to y'all later. This is doula Mareesha. Peace out.